Yes, I know, my dear.
I can understand why Mama cannot bear the sight of Bertie.
Now, you must not say that, Vicky.
She thinks that Papa died through overwork and worry about it.
No, she has accepted that he died of typhoid.
Only officially. Everyone thinks that Bertie was sent to Egypt on a goodwill mission. It was merely to get him away from Mama.
Well, he realizes that. You must be gentle with him, Vicky. He's suffered enough.
We are all to blame in a way. Oh, poor Bertie. What will he do when he returns?
Whatever he can to help your mother. And there's his marriage.
Oh, he has no desire to marry. Anyway, he can't possibly think of it until he hears mourning is over.
Your sister Alice is to be married next month.
Next month?
Your father wished it. He also wished Bertie to marry Alexandra. Now, to your mother, every thought of his has become law, every wish a command. So whatever his feelings, Bertie had better prepare himself for it.
Oh,
Come on.
Bedroom, Mrs. Paget.
This is where you slept, Your Royal Highness.
When people call me Your Royal Highness, I feel I have to stand up straight all the time. At home, they just call me Alex.
And I am Minnie.
What's your first name, Mrs. Paget?
Wahlberger.
Wahlberger.
An old German name. My friends call me Wally.
Oh, that's much nicer.
Much. Names are so important, aren't they? My little name's Dagmar. But Dagmars ought to be tall and aloof and mysterious. I wish I was a Dagmar.
She stops if you don't take any notice, Wally.
You really shared this bedroom together?
Until my 17th birthday last year.
Then Father decided she had to be grown up, especially since she might marry the Prince of Wales.
You see, when Father becomes King of Denmark, we move into the palace, but till then we only have this small house.
Hardly any servants and no money.
And what about the Prince of Wales? I had a letter from his sister, the Crown Princess of Prussia.
Oh, yes, you are a friend of Vicky's.
She has heard that the Tsar asked your parents if they would agree to a proposal from his eldest son.
Yes, isn't it exciting? But he wants to live in gloomy old Russia when they can go to England. And Bertie's so handsome, I jump at him.
Has he said anything definite?
No.
Do you want him to?
I don't know. How can I? I only met him twice for a few hours. I could not marry a man I do not love.
So Her Majesty's refused once again to attend a Privy Council, Prime Minister.
Yes, I'm afraid so. She pleads her grief and desolation at the death of her husband.
But the Prince Consort died over 6 months ago.
She feels it as deeply as if it were yesterday, Mr. Gladstone.
We can only respect it.
I mean no disrespect. It is time, however, that she paid some visible attention to the affairs of her country.
Well, she does what is necessary.
Well, we must all realize that for the past 10 years, Prince Albert dealt with nearly everything himself.
He was virtually king.
Well, exactly, John. And because of this, the Queen, in a sense, has to teach herself the business of ruling all over again.
She must have someone to help her.
Well, there's always the Prince of Wales.
Oh, no. No, he's too young.
Perhaps I should tell you I'm often very concerned when I see the Queen. Her grief is so intense. She's convinced she will die within the year. It might be in the best interest of the country if she abdicated in favor of her son.
Ah, well, that, of course, would change everything.
Well, as the Prince is on his way back from Egypt, perhaps I should speak to Her Majesty before his return.
Yes, I know he was received favorably in Egypt and Turkey. That was because he is my son.
He won golden opinions, ma'am. The Sultan himself was impressed.
He would have said the same about any of my sons.
But we are talking about the Prince of Wales, ma'am.
What does that mean, Lord Palmerston?
About him taking on a share of the royal duties, those duties which he should fulfill and which are expected of him as heir apparent.
There are no duties laid down for the heir.
But you said yourself, ma'am.
I may have done, but I have reconsidered. We do not believe that our son is yet capable of taking part in government. I intend to carry out all my duties as my husband would have expected by myself.
Of course, ma'am.
As for the Prince of Wales, his dear father intended him to marry. That sacred wish must be fulfilled. Our choice is Princess Alexandra of Denmark.
She is, by all accounts, beautiful and gracious. It should be a happy match.
There can be no other, Lord Palmerston. He wished it.
Of course, ma'am.
Bertie! Bertie!
Ah,
Bertie!
and Alice, it's so good to see you. Well, well, well. And you're to be married, Alice.
Yes,
I thought it'd be put off at least until next year.
so did I.
I bet Louis and you are pleased. Well, don't you want to marry him?
I have no choice. It was arranged by Father.
See. How is she?
I think the worst is over. She won't let anything of Father's be touched. Everything is still there exactly as it was.
Still?
Often she won't let anyone but Alice see her.
Does she talk about me?
No,
Where is she?
in the blue closet. Bertie? Mother has decided to go to Coburg to visit the places Father knew as a boy. On the way, she will stay with Uncle Leopold at Laeken. She has asked Prince and Princess Christian of Denmark to meet her there. You are to follow.
Will Alexandra be with them?
If Mother still approves of her when she sees her, you are to propose.
Well, I'll do anything, but this is my whole life.
Please, Bertie, don't quarrel with her. She has said if you do not obey her in everything, she will withdraw herself from you and never see you again.
Mama? Mama.
Are les Danois here?
Oui, ma chère. They are waiting.
Uncle Leopold. Albert did not approve of the family.
The parents are decent enough. The father is sympathetic, not too bright. The mother intelligent, a little deaf. He will inherit the throne through her, that is all one can say.
Well, having come all this distance, I must see them.
Your Majesty, may I present Princess Louise?
My husband, Prince Christian of Denmark. My daughters, Alexandra and Dagmar.
comes from Balmoral. We have never been to England.
Then you must come sometime.
This is the furthest we have ever travelled. And just think, you have seen France and Italy and Egypt. What was it like?
Hot.
So, there you are. I thought you were walking with me.
I was just asking Bertie about his travels.
I have seen much more. Come and talk to me.
You mustn't mind Minnie. She's just so keen to see other countries.
I understand.
Denmark is so small and quiet. Sometimes we feel the rest of the world is turning while we stand still.
It must be very peaceful.
Yes.
You speak English very well.
Thank you. The Queen, your mother, gave me this. She said it was from Balmoral.
Yes, I picked it for you myself. I hoped it might bring you luck.
Do you think I need it?
You haven't said yet. Would you like to visit England too?
Very much. It must be beautiful.
Yes, I believe it is. I'd very much like to show it you. If you came, how long would you stay?
It would depend.
I would want you to stay forever. Alex, I would like to have known you better, but there was never the chance. I'm only afraid that I may be unworthy of you.
That's how I feel about you.
Have you decided on a date, Ma'am?
Early March.
Well, I understood that the church had objected to the wedding taking place during Lent.
Their objection rests merely on prejudice. Marriage is a solemn, holy act not to be classed with amusements.
Very true, Ma'am. Still, March will leave little time to prepare.
We do not wish the ceremony to be ostentatious, Lord Palmerston. We will not lose sight of the loss we have suffered.
Quite so, Ma'am.
I have asked Alexandra to visit me at Osborne next month.
Well, the Prince will be pleased to see her.
He will not be there. I have sent him on a cruise with his sister and her husband. I want to keep the German influence strong. The object of Alexandra's visit is for her to learn what is expected of her before marriage.
It'll be an ordeal for a young girl. Won't she feel that she is, so to speak, on approval?
It is necessary. She must get to know her new family.
If Uncle Leopold hadn't come back, I don't think she'd ever have left us alone.
I'm glad you're going to live with us. We've talked of nothing else for weeks. You're our first new sister.
What's your house like?
Well, it's quite small, not like Windsor or Buckingham Palace. And you could tuck it up and put it in a corner of Osborne and no one would notice it.
Do you have many brothers and sisters?
Quite a few.
Any sisters like you?
Is it true you can turn cartwheels?
Oh, baby.
Bertie said she could.
Oh, yes, I can.
Do one for us, please, Alex. We won't
Yes, Alex, please, show us.
So here you all are. It's nearly time for tea. Louise, Beatrice, run along. Effie, you should not be here.
No, Mamma.
I want to speak to Alexandra. There has been some tedious correspondence with your parents. They seem to wish you to bring a Danish girl as lady-in-waiting.
That is my wish, too.
But surely you can see that will never do. It would not make for happiness if you had a maid to whom you could chatter away in Danish without your husband understanding a word.
Perhaps not.
So that's settled. Now there is the question of reading. I have checked on the books you brought with you. They are in Danish, too. What are they about?
They are religious works. That is all I read.
Oh, good. I have been meaning to ask you, Alexandra. Alex. I shall never get used to that name. Why do you never wear a dress? You are always in that jacket.
Because I can wear different skirts with it. I make them myself.
Yourself?
It saves so much money.
Indeed. I like that.
A letter from Mama. She's so pleased with her. She has sent her back to Copenhagen early so she can spend her 18th birthday with her parents.
Well, that's an achievement.
And she also says that we needn't wear full mourning at the wedding. Grey and white or lilac and white will do.
Well, does that mean she'll come out of mourning herself?
No, Bertie, of course not.
But why not? She'll spoil everything.
Bertie, you must remember how hard it will be for her. Mama is still quite a young woman, only 43. Your happiness reminds her more and more of what she has lost forever.
Well, cheer up, Junge. Next time your yacht crosses the channel, it will be bringing Alexandra to England.
Oh, here you are.
Oh, come along, Alex. You're keeping everyone waiting. Your father's furious.
Sorry, Mama.
Hurry now.
What are you doing?
Just saying goodbye.
You know, I was afraid I was going to be jealous of you, but I'm not. Not since Papa told me that now you're to marry Bertie, the Tsarevich has asked for me. Isn't it funny? I hope I'll be as happy as you are.
I'm sure of it.
You love him, don't you?
Very much.
What's the matter?
If only I knew. I think Bertie cares for me. If only I knew his people would love me too. Come on, Minnie.
Well, it would appear that once again the Queen has changed her mind.
I thought she wanted this marriage.
Well, so she does, but she has decided there are to be no state celebrations, and it will take place at St. George's Chapel, Windsor.
That's far too small.
The marriage of a Prince of Wales cannot be a purely family affair. It concerns the whole country.
Did you see the piece in Punch magazine? They said it seems the wedding is to take place in an obscure Berkshire village, noted only for an old castle with no sanitary arrangements.
If she were not the Queen, I would say Her Majesty was jealous.
Be that as it may, Mr. Gladstone, I think she underestimates the popularity of the Prince. Already his bride's photograph is in every shop window in London. She may not wish them to show their enthusiasm. She may wish to keep the marriage as private as possible. But the people of Britain are not to be cheated and may surprise her.
Indeed.
Minnie, we're docking. Come away from the porthole.
Mrs. Gravesend must be.
Never seen anything like it.
There's yachts, small ships, right? That's where they all come
You
from.
two, Minnie, come away. They've got a band on the dock, soldiers in red and gold. There's people coming.
Minnie, come here quick.
Your Royal Highness, may I present His Worship the Mayor?
Royal Highness, most welcome. Auspicious, such an honor.
His Worship wishes to present you with a loyal address of welcome, Your Royal Highness.
Thank you. I shall always remember with great pleasure the first of my new countrymen to welcome me to shore.
Royal Highness, such an honor. Auspicious.
Is all this for me?
He gives you his blessing.
Better than that, it was almost professional. Play something more.
No, no, Bertie. You're on your honeymoon. Alex must be tired.
I don't know why he's laughing.
Come, Alex. We shouldn't really have joined you at such a time.
Oh, nonsense. If you hadn't found Alex, we might never have met. No, we want you always to be our dearest friend.
Yes.
Even though I'm a Prussian.
Oh, my dear Fritz, we're one family. We're not going to let a dispute over borders come between us. Now, what about a drink?
If you like.
When are you going back to Germany?
Soon enough. We're quite glad to be away just now with Bismarck rattling his saber.
Won't he listen to you?
No, not to anyone. And the Kaiser believes in him completely. Fritz has no say anymore.
He won't be any more pleased with me when he hears I stood beside Alexandra's father at the wedding.
Well, at least by all accounts, he should be pleased with my nephew.
Who?
My son, Wilhelm.
The little boy in the kilt.
Yes.
You didn't see, he behaved very badly. He picked the jewel out of his dirk and threw it right across the chapel.
And when Arthur tried to stop him, he bit him on the knee.
A true Prussian.
Oh, it will be strange to go back to Prussia and hear Bismarck shouting about the Danes.
Well, let us hope that this marriage may make him think again.
I hope so.
Smoking? Osborne.
Well, why not? It's my home while I'm here.
Osborne, you know what Mama says.
Vicky, I'm not a child anymore. It was bad enough having to bring Alex to this museum for our honeymoon.
I don't mind.
No, I know you don't, my love. But I promise you that our new home will be everything that this one is not. The Prince and Princess of Wales at home in Marlborough House.
Bertie, oh, Bertie, I love it. How many servants did you say?
85, indoor.
And we won't have to stay at Windsor or Buckingham Palace or Osborne again.
Only when we visit.
A house of our own. We can have our own friends to call and stay at home in evenings just quietly by ourselves.
Not for some time.
Why?
Far too many people want to meet you. And I want to show you off to them all. Lord John Russell, my dear, Viscount Amberley, and Lord Granville, President of the Council.
Her Royal Highness is very lovely tonight, sir.
Thank you, Lord John. Thank you.
I say, sir, that Her Royal Highness is the very model of a princess.
Thank you. Lady Macclesfield, my dear, one of the oldest of our family friends.
Then I hope you will become one of mine, Lady Macclesfield.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness. Well, Granville?
Well, Russell?
What do you think of her?
Prince of Wales is a fortunate young man.
And very much in love.
Oh, yes. At the moment.
I don't understand you, sir.
Let us hope it lasts, Lord John. Let us hope it lasts.
Sorry to take you away, Lord Palmerston.
Oh, not at all, sir.
The ladies will miss you.
Alas, at my age, even these have become the pleasures of remembrance, sir.
Have you seen the Queen recently?
I am in fairly frequent attendance.
How does she seem? No, frankly.
Well, still much affected by her sad loss.
Oh, yes.
And every day more aware of how much your father, the Prince Consort, did for her. You see the dilemma Her Majesty is in. Her ministers, more often than not, were seen by him. His advice was taken. Complicated questions he reduced to one easy page for her to agree or disagree. And now she has to take on this vast load by herself.
Yes, well, that's what I wanted to speak to you about. After all, I'm married, over 21, and the heir to the throne. I feel it's time I did something for my country.
Yes, well, I've been thinking along those lines myself, sir.
Have you discussed it with her?
We have touched upon it. Nothing could be more desirable than that you should take on some of Her Majesty's duties. Depend on it, I shall speak to her.
No, no, Prime Minister. It is far too early.
His Royal Highness is keen to serve you, ma'am.
His intentions are good, but he cannot sustain them.
I believe he is completely sincere. He knows the strain placed on you, ma'am. His only desire is to help you.
Well, I can see his wife's influence in this. Steadying. Yes, I shall think of something for him, but not yet. It is far too soon after his marriage. Now, what was this problem you wished to see me about?
Ah, yes, Prince Alfred, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, he is far too taken with Alexandra. The sooner he is sent back to sea again, the better.
I was referring to the offer from Greece, ma'am.
I thought that was settled.
Not while the throne remains empty. The Greeks want to elect a king, and Prince Alfred is their first choice.
Out of the question. Albert always intended him to succeed his Uncle Ernest as Duke of Saxe-Coburg.
Well, Duke Ernest may accept Greece himself if Prince Alfred refuses.
He would not even consider it.
I assure you, ma'am, that he is considering it if they will let him keep Coburg with Prince Alfred as regent.
To be responsible for Ernest's debts and misgovernment? Never. You must put a stop to it, Lord Palmerston.
The powers are pledged not to support one candidate against the other, ma'am.
Then you must find someone else. We do not see Affy as a king, and will not accept Ernest.
No, I'd like to play the Liebeslieder by Strauss if we can find it.
Oh, you should try it, Abby. Find yourself a wife.
Why does every newly married man want everyone else to wear the same ball and chain? I'm quite happy in the Navy.
You're in the Navy too, aren't you, sir?
I'm a naval cadet at Copenhagen.
Is that where your ambitions lie?
I like it, except for the bookwork. As a younger son, I don't have much choice.
Poor old Willie. Surely we could do something for him.
It does seem a bit unfair.
Well, the Hellenes have voted for a monarchy. How would you like to be king of Greece?
Very much. At least I wouldn't have to sit any more exams.
Well, we'll see.
Since none of you will take the hint, I'll have to make it more obvious. Who's going to dance with me?
May I?
How gallant, Happy. Don't keep the other ladies waiting.
I spoke to Her Majesty, sir.
Ah, yes. What did she say?
Well, unfortunately, she will not yet consider any definite employment for you. She feels that as you're so recently married, that your first duty for the time being is to your wife.
Well, I had hoped. At any rate, you'll keep me informed.
Well, I cannot send you details of cabinet business without Her Majesty's permission.
Am I only to learn what is going on in the country by reading the newspapers?
Well, I was speaking officially, sir. Unofficially, I'll try to send you essential information. And I'll keep a gentle pressure on the Queen.
Who's the old boy with Bertie?
The Prime Minister, Lord Palmerston.
So that is the great Pam. And the other one?
Lord John Russell, the Foreign Secretary.
Here, at a party?
Well, the Prince admires them both very much.
Though he calls them the terrible twins.
I'm glad, sir, your bride has been so enthusiastically received.
People adore her.
Yes, with reason.
We have so many invitations that if we accepted them all, we'd have no time to ourselves.
Well, it would be a sacrifice, but one I should welcome.
How?
There is a growing protest against Her Majesty's self-imposed seclusion. Part of the function of the monarchy is to be seen. People feel slighted, as if the Queen considers that their needs are unimportant compared to her private sorrow. But you can help.
I can?
Well, you and Her Royal Highness. Well, you cannot deputize for the Queen without her consent, but you can be seen as often as possible. You're the natural leaders of society. You can bring joy and vitality back to public life after these years of mourning.
Bertie, you're not dancing.
Excuse me, Lord Palmerston.
My ears.
It's quite simple, Mamma.
His Royal Highness is asking for acknowledgement of his worth and position and recognition of the valuable work he has done in...
Valuable? What is valuable in this whirl of amusements?
Ma'am, in the past 6 months, His Royal Highness has attended banquets at the Royal Academy, the Guildhall, the universities, amongst others. He has presided at charities, laid the foundation stones of public buildings and hospitals, received the freedom of cities...
And plunged headlong into society, which his father always kept at a distance with good reason. You go about begging for admiration with no care for your position. And Alexandra is the same. I am very disappointed in her.
We have a duty...
You have a duty to deny yourself amusement in order to keep up that moral tone in society which used to be the pride of England. The greatest danger to the country lies in the conduct of the higher classes.
They'll take their tone from me.
And what are you? Nothing but a puppet running about every night for show.
Not just for show.
I will not be contradicted. You may go. Am I to understand that you encouraged him, Lord Palmerston? We did not expect this of you.
Perhaps His Royal Highness's motives may have been misinterpreted to you, ma'am.
In what way?
There are occasions when the presence of a member of the royal family is essential in your continued absence from London.
Not again. I have told you, my nerves will not allow me to appear in public. And this behavior of my son's only makes me more sick and anxious.
These are troubled times, ma'am. The popularity of the Prince and Princess is of great value.
The country was never so loyal or so devoted to their sovereign as now.
Still, the Prince of Wales, as your representative...
He is not. He does not represent me in public. That is a position to which he is not entitled. No one can represent the sovereign except herself or her consort. He is not to be regarded in that light. And how dare you suggest that he should preside at any of those societies or commissions in which his beloved and great father took so prominent a part?
Well, he is your son, ma'am.
And nothing else, unless we choose to appoint him. He will never stand beside me in his father's place. Each day I feel that loss more deeply. More deeply. All the best are taken. Even dear Baron Stockmar is gone. What will become of my poor country when I die? And Bertie and his wife are brought forward more and more. People cry out for them. They are not my representatives. They have not the right. You will not let them compete for popularity with me.
It can't have been so bad.
It was worse. I only once heard her speak to anyone like that, to my father, just before Vicky's wedding. It was as if she didn't know what she was saying.
That's right. She didn't really mean it.
Well, then why would she say it?
She's lost and lonely and feels that no one loves her anymore.
That's not true.
Perhaps she's even afraid that if people get to like you too much, they won't want her.
Well, how could she? She's the Queen.
Of course. Don't worry. She'll realize in time that she needs you.
Yes.
We mustn't let it spoil everything. It's been such a wonderful year. Our marriage, Father becoming King of Denmark at last, and Willie King of Greece. Who'd have believed any of that 6 months ago?
Well, certainly not Willie.
We also have something wonderful to look forward to. You're going to be a father.
A father? Do you mean you? You're,
Yes. Is something wrong?
Well, I've only just got used to being a husband. Alex, are you sure?
Very sure.
But, When is it to be?
Oh, not for a long time yet. I've only just found out.
Well, there it is. We have to accept the Queen's seclusion. If we try to force her, she fears for her reasons.
She'll fulfill all the desk work, but none of the public functions. Nor will she allow the Prince of Wales to deputise for her.
She must be persuaded to change her mind.
Easier said, Mr. Gladstone. I'll give you a hint if you ever have to deal with her. She's taken to using the royal we to show that she speaks both for herself and for the spirit of the Prince Consort. When she says we, her opinions are not to be changed.
And young Wales?
With or without his mother's permission, he'll find something to do.
I'd rather it were with her permission and some useful employment.
Well, so would we all.
Yeah, well, I shall do what I can, but I've spent far too much time on it already.
Disraeli will use it as a stick to beat us with.
He already has one, Denmark.
Well, that's your concern.
It concerns us all. Bismarck and the Kaiser want a united Germany under the leadership of Prussia. They spent years building up their army, and now they want a quick and easy success to prove its effectiveness. They have found it in the Danish provinces of Schleswig and Holstein.
Well, they've been squabbling for years. Prussia claims them. They belong to Denmark only by treaty. It's a complicated situation.
Does anyone know the rights of it?
Only 3 people ever really understood the Schleswig-Holstein question. One of them was a German professor, and he's gone mad. Another was the Prince Consort, and he's dead. And the third was myself. And I've forgotten all about it. Still, we must decide our position. Before long, armies will be marching across Europe.
That may be nothing to the war inside the Queen's family.
You said that we're all one family, and yet you are prepared to march into my father's country.
Yes, we are one family. But I am a Prussian. My first duty is to my father and my country.
It's Bismarck who wants this war, not the Kaiser.
Stay out of this, Afi.
No, he's right. You've complained for years about the danger of your Iron Chancellor. How can you support him now?
Germany is still made up of many small states. It must be united to achieve its destiny in Europe.
With Prussia as its master?
It is the strongest power.
And to prove it attacks a country not 1/10 of its size.
They have attacked no one yet.
Because they expect us to surrender Schleswig and Holstein without a fight.
Holstein is partly German.
And Schleswig is wholly Danish. What right do you have to claim both?
We have the right of
How good it is to see you all gathered. All his dear children. What a pity Alice and Louis cannot be with us.
Another German.
What?
You have done nothing but complain about Germany since we arrived.
If you behave better, there'll be no cause for complaint.
That is enough.
My father is being forced to give them his province of Holstein.
It is something you must learn to accept. Prussia must be allowed to take her place on an equal footing with other leading nations. We do not wish this subject to be raised again.
How can I be silent when my country...
Your country is now England. There was no political treaty included in your marriage. And may we remind you, Vicky, that you are here solely as our daughter. Arthur, Leopold, you may leave us. We forbid any further mention of this matter. Only 2 years after the death of your beloved father, to behave so on the very day you meet to honor his memory. We had expected more of you all. And Bertie, remember, Alex is with child. She must not agitate herself.
Your Royal Highness, Ma'am.
It's all right, Mac.
Look at the colour of her cheeks.
Yes, but I do think we should return to Frogmore.
Oh, but she was going to watch me play hockey.
Perhaps I'd better not. You go on.
You sure you don't mind?
Of course not.
I'll be back before dinner.
What is it?
Nothing. No. Take me back to the house.
Walk on.
Fetch the nearest
first, Doctor. Don't matter who. And get word to the Prince.
What is it, Mac?
I think your time has come. A little sooner than we expected. That is all. Now there's nothing to worry about. I've had 13, so I should know.
Is it true?
It is indeed 2 months too soon and with nothing prepared.
And we had to be out here miles from anywhere. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make a layette out of one of my petticoats. At least we had that.
Who's with her?
Oh, a town doctor from Windsor, a Dr. Brown. He's a very good man.
Now, you relax.
Bertie.
Are you all right? Is there anything I can do?
I don't think so, sir.
It's too soon. It's too soon.
Oh, no, it's all right. It often happens.
Quite often.
No, I mean, you always scold me for being late.
Has she... What? No, they just sent me out for a moment. My mother's right. I'm thoughtless, irresponsible.
You mustn't blame yourself, sir.
Well, I could have taken more care. They warned me she wasn't strong, and now here we are, nothing ready. None of the court doctors, no ministers. You'll have to witness it, Granville, whatever happens.
Yes, of course, sir.
Thank God for that doctor and Lady Mac.
Sir, I came here to tell you the Prussian army is marching into Denmark.
What? Oh, well, please. I didn't realize how much she meant to me. I don't care about anything, as long as she's all right.
Both well, sir. Weight's just about 3 pounds, but I believe it will live. And may I be the first to congratulate you. It's a boy. It is essential that Her Royal Highness should rest.
So you're here, are you? Well, you're too late, because it's all over. All over.
Lady Mac.
Now you must all go. You may come again later, but Her Royal Highness needs to rest.
If I could explain.
My darling, thank goodness you're safe.
Bertie, our son.